Tropical Storm Debby came through and dumped about 5 inches of rain on us on Thursday. She wasn't happy with having us on the ground, so on her way out the door she kicked us. Last night we got 3/10 on top of the 5 inches that we've had. So I'm shocked that it's working, but I have just been going with the plan of trying to displace all the rainwater in the mums with fertilize. So every time it rains, I just come out here the next morning to these soggy wet pots and keep on running fertilize. And I've got some that's really starting to stretch on me. I really need to get another application of B9, and we need to get out here and also pull some of this daggone nutsedge. I did not know that nutsedge would come up through this ground cover fabric, but it has. Also, I've started having some mums go down. Well, I've had one mum go down with fusarium, and that was enough to prompt me to come through, and we had a pile of broken tomato sticks. So I set up a chop saw and we cut them all up into 6-inch pieces, and the guys came through. We only got half the field done. We've got to come back and do the rest of it. We got the low part of the field, and this is the part where I saw the first mum go down with fusarium. So we got all these pots up off the ground. Fusarium is a soil-borne disease, and it can move through rain. If you have one pot out here with fusarium, the rainwater can take it down and it can spread across the field because the roots coming out the bottoms of the pots will pick it up. That's kind of how that particular disease works. So I think in the future, we'll, from the get-go, we'll have every mum setting up on blocks just to kind of prevent that, because I've been told that if you don't have fusarium, the more mums you grow, the worse problem you're going to have out of fusarium. So just as a preventative measure in the future, I think that's the route we're going to go. I got my chemilizer down here on my well house. Yeah, my well house still doesn't have any siding on it. That's a project that's on tap for the near future, hopefully. But got my fertilizer set up in here. And we're gonna go take a look at what Debbie did. Still got a few things left over in the greenhouse that I'm kind of hanging on to. Some stuff that needs to go, like these dragon wings, but the guys are working on potting up some succulents down here. These mums over here are looking really good. We got about 600 on this pad, I think, large and small together. I had some worm issue earlier, but I got them sprayed, and then I came back and drenched them, and we got the worms taken care of. It's a constant battle with mums, keeping the mess pulled out of them. The guys just got through cleaning this greenhouse up, or this high tunnel up. Did a bang up job on it, cut all the weeds out of it. And we actually just seeded, I didn't show you over in the other greenhouse, we just seeded a bunch of tomatoes that we're gonna be planting in there in 5-6 weeks when they're ready. Got some mums in here that I didn't have room for outside. I don't have anywhere to put them. But I guess we'll have a comparison with how they do inside the greenhouse versus outside. I'm still hanging on to some of these black petunias that I didn't sell. I don't know how many's in here, 50 or 75 probably. They don't look all that hot, but I'm gonna print them up here in a couple weeks, maybe this coming week, and feed them heavy, just get them sprayed, try to get them pretty again, and hopefully the black flowers will be a hot item at Halloween, so we'll see. Out here in the old strawberry plastic, we've got a couple of rows of cantaloupes coming up here. Looking good. Those are going to be really late, but hopefully they'll be really hot ticket item being that late. And a couple of sections of pumpkins here. The grass needs to be sprayed really bad, but that's not a problem. We'll spray some Volunteer across that and it'll kill the grass only. And then we should have, if they have gotten started yet, should have a couple of rows of beans coming up here. And I'm not seeing any coming up yet. It shouldn't be long with all the water we've had. I was starting to have some weeds coming along in next year's strawberry field, so I sprayed it with Roundup, and I was really hoping that we were going to be able to lay plastic here pretty quick, but I don't know. We're going to have to do a bunch of drying. Here is the beans that we've got going on recycled plastic, and they're actually really starting to look like something now. So we got October beans, purple hull peas, snap beans, and of course over here on the trellis we got half runners, and the half runners are starting to go. Need to run some potassium nitrate to them. They will really like that, and need to get some row middles sprayed because we got some weeds starting to come back with all this rain. But they actually look good from the side too. Not quite as thick as I would like to see them, but beans do a pretty good job of filling in. So this was planting number 2, I think, of beans. This is actually Blue Lake variety, which I don't normally plant, but I was bush hogging this week, as you can see, and I got to looking at these, and they had so many beans on them that I decided I was going to spray them with a little Quadris and some insecticide and try to pick them again. It looks like that was a wise choice, because look at all these beans that are still in here, and it looks like I didn't do as good a job as I could have on the bugs for some reason. But yeah, we're gonna come back through here and pick quite a few beans, I hope. Quality goes down so much is part of the problem. A lot of crops get left in the field because of quality issues. Y'all, we have got algae growing on flat ground. Like, if you question how wet we are, we're wet. We have spent so much time digging ditches and cutting roads trying to get water to drain, and it's just, I mean, we've just got water standing everywhere. The little Davie beat the fool out of those purple hull peas. They were standing up big and pretty. Now they're all laid down. So far it looks like the spray on these pumpkins did pretty good. Pumpkins and squash, that is. They all still looking relatively healthy. We'll ride down here and take a look at our dam. Water's got to be one of the most powerful things. So this is where our dam used to be. And you can see what the water level used to look like. Used to be a lot of water in here. I don't know that we're going to need to anytime soon, but it looks like we could probably still pump a little bit. I don't know how deep that what's left is, but yeah, that's a few dollars gone there, because we're gonna have to kind of start over with the pond before definitely before time to overhead water strawberries this fall here in 2 months, because it takes a lot of reserved water when you start running sprinklers. So it is what it is. We just got to roll with the weather, because there sure ain't nothing we can do about it. Cantaloupes are looking surprisingly good. The upcoming planting, I mean, that's part of them is kind of drowned out right here on this end a little bit. The guys have come through and flipped all the canary melon vines over so they don't get walked on while they're picking okra on this next plant of okra here. Oh my goodness, are you okay? You can see some beans got kind of drowned out on this end. Cucumbers are rocking and rolling. They are happy. That is a really good looking crop of pickles right there. And these half runners are looking really good as well. Sweet corn is starting to tassel in spite of the water standing in between the rows. Got it a little bit yellow, but if we can get that water out sometime in the next couple of days, if it'll stop raining, we'll get some potassium nitrate run to that sweet corn, and it'll really get going and be much happier. If you are somewhat new viewer of the channel, you may not be aware that we have a sawmill. So this is a WoodMizer LT10. That's what it used to be. WoodMizer LT10 was their kind of entry-level saw. Now they call it like a LX something. They've totally redesigned them, and they're actually a lot better. But LT10 comes, all it comes with is this track and this saw and like a little 8 horsepower Briggs is what came on it. And it's 100% manual. So as you can see, this saw is been modified a little bit. I got a video series about when I built this, repowered it with the 13 horsepower Predator and put power feed, power head controls on it. First thing I did to this sawmill was build this trailer out of 8-inch channel iron so that I could make it portable, because the LT10 is meant to be bolted down on like 6x6s and just sit there. So I built that, and then it just kind of got out of control from there. But it's it works out really good now. So it's all power feed, power head, and the stator, obviously on a Predator engine, it's not enough to run all of these. Everything runs off of Harbor Freight winches, so everything as affordably as possible, and they've actually worked out really good. I've had really good service out of them. But I would just put a GM 1-wire alternator, runs off a separate belt on the engine, pulls a little bit of power away from the engine, but not terrible, and that supplies enough amperage to keep all the power accessories running. And then this overhead system allows the power wire to run back and forth. I usually keep the sawmill set up semi-permanent with some skid poles, makes feeding logs much easier, because feeding them one at a time with the skid steer loader is very slow. If you got a stack of logs here where you can just keep rolling them on, you can turn out some lumber a lot faster. But it's gonna be really noisy once I start, and I know this ain't really got anything to do with produce, but just another little thing we do here, and something a little different. But it'll be a little loud once I fire this thing up, but I'll put you a little few minutes here of me making some lumber. We got some upcoming projects that I'll try to make some videos about. We're gonna put a workroom on the back of greenhouse number 3, which I'm really looking forward to that. I enjoy construction. I don't think I want to do it for a living, but I really enjoy doing it for myself, and I'm really looking forward to having that workroom, because it's going to be nice, super nice to be inside. The building can be heated by opening the doors. You'll be in the shade in the summer. You can turn the vent fans on, it'll suck air through there, but you'll be in the shade and not in the hot greenhouse. Have a place to store a little bit of stuff to work with. It'll be a really nice place to do most of our planting and potting up and propagation type work. So anyway, that's what the lumber's for, that and a few other little building projects we've got to get done. But I'm gonna get some logs on the skid poles and get some lumber coming out. I know the safety police are gonna have a fit about this, but this is an old chicken house fan that I picked up for next to nothing, and I realized it doesn't have a guard on it. I don't stick my hand in it, just like I don't grab a moving PTO shaft. But I run that off of a little Predator generator, and man, it sure does make it a whole lot nicer. For some reason, I always find myself sawing lumber in the middle of summer, but it serves a dual purpose. Keeps me slightly cooler, and a lot of sawdust flies off this thing in a lot of different directions, particularly when you're starting a cut. You're always back here close, and it's bad about throwing sawdust in your face, and with this fan sitting at your back, it doesn't do that.